Miss Alien Superstar popped up on our timelines in February, and let it be known, we are doing opulence. She showed up sitting atop Renee in this very risque silver diamante catsuit with her signature cowboy hat and the baddest silver fringe boots in the game. But she had us all loyals and royals out here walking, talking, dancing, prancing, looking like actual disco balls. And we enjoyed almost every minute of it. Renaissance World Tour 2023 was an amazing experience. So, of course, I had to talk about it. We're going to start with what I consider to be the best of the Renaissance World Tour fashion, and I have to mention those that I actually think were the worst. And yes, Mother did have some items that were not so good. The accessories and the shoes. Yes, they need their own category. Trust me, there were some moments when the shades she wore was the whole look, the entire look. I didn't even recognize what else she was wearing. And that is telling because I liked almost every outfit she wore. Not only that, we enjoyed a lot of quirky moments from Beyonce with the shades, especially when they would fall off and she would have to toss them. I truly appreciated seeing these accessories. And the hats. I mean, okay, so we kind of had a preview from the announcement photo that we already spoke about. We knew the Texas Bama was going to come out, but we didn't know that she was going to come out like this. Even the most basic looking hat, this one with the really, really wide brim, it had its moment. It did its due diligence, especially in the formation intro. Like, this hat was a whole intro with such amazing outfits and amazing accessories. Shoes tend to go unnoticed on performers, but there were a few that caught my attention here. And yes, we did see that silver fringe badness that we saw in the promo pic on tour, and it did justice in every set that she wore it. We saw a lot of bedazzled thigh-high boots that really complemented the outfits. This one in particular by Rick Owens really stood out to me. I'm living for these laced platform boots in the Little Red Riding Hood outfit. This was just an all-around amazing set of shoes to be worn by anybody, whether or not it's in a performance. As it pertains to jewelry, Tiffany & Co. were the official jewelers for the Renaissance World Tour. I didn't know that was a thing. However, I really think they did an amazing job at capturing and displaying the type of opulence that Beyonce really wanted to bring out with this tour. Also, they collaborated with her on designing some of the outfits that Beyonce actually wore, and I think they did an amazing job. They were pretty simple, but they were just still so stunning and fit perfectly into the tour. Okay, it's time. Finally, let's talk about the best outfits of the Renaissance World Tour. I'm gonna start with the Ivy Park looks. So Ivy Park is Beyonce's latest clothing line. It was developed in 2016, and it's essentially an athleisure line. She had a latest collaboration with Adidas for distribution. And I think overall people liked the clothing. I haven't really heard anyone complain about the quality or anything like that. However, much like Beyonce's other non-musical ventures, it always seemed pretty docile or not as successful as other celebrities' clothing line. And I think this had a lot to do with the fact that Beyonce is such a private person that we do not see the side of her that would actually wear athleisure, that would actually wear the Ivy Park clothing that she promotes. However, I think they hit the nail on the head when it comes to Ivy Park and them producing designs for the Renaissance World Tour. I absolutely loved every single Ivy Park look that came out. The colors were vibrant, the designs were fun, they were functional. You could see that they were dancing up a storm and they looked comfortable in the Ivy Park looks in comparison to like some of the other looks. And I think this was the absolute best thing she could have ever done with a brand, and she probably should have done this before. And even though these were concert or performance costumes, they still looked wearable. So as a consumer, if you like this kind of thing, you would actually want to purchase it. My favorite Ivy Park looks were the glitter camo looks. And there were a couple that I really didn't like initially, but the more I saw them, the more they grew on me and the more I actually appreciated them when I realized that they were Ivy Park designs. Next up in line for best outfits in the Renaissance World Tour were these looks by David Kona. There were two color variations. I loved both of them. And I think there isn't much to say about this. For those who know, they know. We all know why we like this look. Whilst the design of the outfit on its own is amazing, I think the styling on this was perfection. These iridescent thigh-high boots with the crinkly effect were killer. Like she shut it down with this. This is an absolute 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 across the board. I did not expect to love this look as much as I love it. I didn't even expect to like it. Right off the bat, I would think this is ridiculous. However, I feel like we all had the same reaction, but now we've all come to absolutely love this. And this is definitely going to be one of the looks that people remember when they think about Beyonce's Renaissance World Tour of 2023. If you know Emilio Pucci as a brand, it is not for the faint of heart. It is not for the boring. It is not for the basic. But people fell so in love with this catsuit that the clicks, the searches, the purchases surged after Beyonce debuted this outfit. Emilio Pucci is a brand that claims that their designs are intended for women who want to have real presence, those who do not want to be discreet, those who want to be noticed. And Beyonce, we noticed and we love it. The bee or beehive inspired looks. Of course, the queen bee had to serve us some looks to honor the beehive, to honor her status as queen bee. And I thoroughly enjoyed a lot of these looks. My favorite was this one by Alexander McQueen. The fact that every sequin was hand sewn has me thrown. And of course, I think a lot of us really and truly appreciated the Mugler outfits. These were just killer. The head accessories, amazing. Beyonce, thank you so much for honoring the beehive. Another set of outfits I want to throw out are those that were in honor of her home state of Texas, and Homegirl did her own spin on these Texan-inspired outfits. They were over the top, they were gorgeous, and these fire outfits, I call them fire outfits. They were just, I can't even find the words to describe how good these outfits were. I want to say these were more costume-like outfits, more what I would expect at a concert, not something that I would see or expect people to be wearing out and about or have an interest in purchasing. However, I still think the designers did justice. They were definitely in the best looks. Yes, I am on Beyonce's internet telling you that there were some outfits on this tour that were flops. That's right. She ain't no diva. She ain't no diva. I appreciate the designers and all the hard work they put in. The designs themselves might have looked amazing. However, in the grand scheme of things, with almost 150 outfits, some of them were just going to fall short. They were just going to be forgettable or just straight up ugly. If you're a Beyonce fan, you know that she likes the brand Marine Serre. But I don't think many of you are going to fight me on this one because I thought this was one of the most hideous creations I have ever seen in my life. I've crunched the numbers. I looked in the comment sections and I know you're all going to be with me in saying that this was probably the ugliest outfit of the Renaissance World Tour. Yes, I know it's giving Afrofuturistic. I know it's probably on theme with Alien Superstar. I know there is some history to it, some novelty. But at the same time, this was straight up ugly fugly. Do not get me started on the braided string that is running through the derriere section. It just did not do anything for the outfit. It in fact made it absolutely worse. And do not let me mention the shoes. I know you were going through it. I appreciate you for everything you do, Beyonce, but please, the shoes were just they made it worse, much worse. Now this Georges Hobika look, I call it mother of pearls. Constantly introducing us to new designers. I looked on the website for Georges Hobika and it's a Lebanese designer, and these are some of the most beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pieces of work I've ever seen by a designer. It's just a breath of fresh air. However, this mother of pearls look, I don't think it gave what it was supposed to give. So instead of accentuating her hourglass body and enhancing the thick that we know she got around there, like it dragged her shape down. It made her look a little bit more mature. I think the black gloves and the shoes really made this look less appealing than it already was. Another look on this tour I did not appreciate was this look by Diesel. So it was a skin tight trompe l'oeil denim look. It fit like a glove. It showed up the thick, it showed up the everything, the bootylicious, the everything. But I just think in the grand scheme of things, it looked cheap. I know it's not, but it looked really cheap. I think it threw off the entire aesthetic of the tour where all the other colors were like really deep, really vibrant, just rich. It just looked very blah. But Diesel redeemed themselves with actual denim. I think this was one of the better looks of the tour as well. And for that, I give them props. But this was a flop. This look by Richard Quinn, I'm not going to really say much other than I think it looks like a disease. I don't get it, and I also don't want to get it. But good designer. I looked up other designs, and they were pretty good, but this was just not good for this tour. But thank you for your work. Finally, at the bottom of the pile was this look by Febin. Now, this wasn't ugly, it wasn't horrible, but I just think that in the grand scheme of things, it fell really flat. Again, because the colors were not as rich, they were not as deep. This is one of the looks that really came early on in the tour, so at this point, we didn't really know what to expect. And people were kind of okay with it, but there were quite a few comments that did say that this was not a good look and that we don't want to see it again. It was just like very dull and boring. But let's continue to talk about the best outfits of the tour because, of course, there were more. I have to talk about the silver outfits. We knew from the get-go this was going to be over the top opulence and it was going to be a lot of silver. I mean, quite often we tend to use a touch of silver or a touch of gold just to enhance a look. But I feel when it came to this tour, when the question was posed to Beyonce, like, how much silver do you want? I think her answer was yes. Because we saw silver everywhere. I believe she had these designers going ham on what they could do with silver. She gave them the opportunity to really go all out and enjoy just being exceptionally over the top with these very opulent silver outfits. And I enjoyed quite a lot of them. I know I wasn't counting up to this point, but if I had to pick the top two set of looks that we saw on the Renaissance World Tour, number two would be for the opening looks. All of us who were able to experience the Renaissance World Tour to actually go to one of the shows, we can recall just how emotive the opening acts were. The anticipation, the introduction, when she called the name of the city she was performing in, and just to see her and how beautiful she looked. The opening looks sealed the deal. That is when we all knew we were in for one of the best experiences of our lives. They were ethereal, they were feminine, they were gorgeous, they were just so simply elegant and breathtakingly beautiful. I will forever remember these looks. I will be inspired by these looks. I already see my wedding gown in these looks, but they were absolutely stunning and I appreciated every single one of them. And finally, folks, the most iconic looks from Beyonce's Renaissance World Tour of 2023. The looks that will be documented in every fashion history book from here on. The looks that will grace the cover of the coffee table book that we are manifesting will come from this tour are none other than the Loewe cat suits. In the future, when we talk about Beyonce's Renaissance World Tour, these are the looks that are going to go hand in hand with the topic. Quite frankly, I just think we weren't ready. Like the way they snapped with these looks, we were just not prepared to see something like this and to love something like this. It's been touted as the most impressive design from the tour. And within hours of its debut, we saw that there were quite a lot of replicas. People were even able to wear it on the tour. And it really came full circle that people felt safe to be in this space where they could freely express themselves in the bold way and enjoy their entire existence, even if it was just for those almost 3 hours of the concert. And even the film, people were still showing up in these elaborate, over the top fashions, enjoying themselves thoroughly throughout. Feel free to comment below and let me know what was your favorite outfit of Beyonce's world tour. If you have not subscribed to my channel, now is your time to do so that you can get more content like this. And until my next video, stay fashionably well and in good health.
Hip tick tock while I dance on that demon time. She might start a big beat and that beat stand for bands. If you wanna see some, baby, here's your chance. I said left cheek, right cheek, drop it low, then swing. Texas up in this thing, put you up on this game. I be park on my frame, gang, 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 gang. If you don't jump to put jeans on, baby, you won't feel my pain. Please don't give me hype, write my name in ice. Don't argue with no lazy bitches, I just raise my price. I'm a boss, I'm a leader, I pull up in my two-seater. And my mama was a savage, baby, got that shit from Tina. I'm a